Build a highly profitable real estate machine with explosive, exponential growth that works harder for you than you work for it, while living a life by design. Breakthroughs are all around you, but you don't see them until now. Join Jason Williford here at the Ultimate Real Estate Machine as he converses with highly respected and world-renowned experts from inside and outside the real estate industry. You'll discover proven business, marketing, and sales strategies that transform you into the most trusted, dominant, and influential expert in your market, the preeminent agent. Each episode brings you one step closer to the highly profitable and fulfilling real estate business that you've been longing for. Here's your host, Jason Williford.
Hey everyone, got another really special guest on today. He's the owner and the team leader of the Schwendeman Real Estate Group with Exit Realty. He's won Exit Realty's International Group Top Agent Award. He's received the Tri-Realathon Award 4 years in a row. His tagline is indeed correct. No one sells more homes in central Minnesota than Chad Schwendeman. Chad is known as one of North America's top real estate agents. He's highly respected within the highest level of producers in the world. He masterminds, he mentors, brainstorms with the best in the world. And without further ado, thank you for joining us, Mr. Chad. How you doing?
Great, Jason. Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Man, it's been a long time since I've seen you in person with all the COVID stuff.
Absolutely. It's been a while, but yeah, we follow each other on social media and we'll get back to normal here before too long.
Hey, what I seen on your Facebook about the crypto mining. What are you doing with that, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've teamed up with some gentlemen and we're doing Bitcoin mining. So we're doing the Antminer S17 Pro and we're mining crypto. So we got 300 miners up and running and it's been a lot of fun. And, you know, hopefully that Bitcoin price keeps going up and not down, but we're confident long-term it's going to be a heck of a good investment.
What do you think, where do you think crypto is going to tie into real estate sales? Probably not if, but when it does, how soon do you see that becoming more rampant in our business?
Well, I think the smart contracts and the blockchain is really, the technology is going to hit real estate probably in the next, I would say 3 to 5 years. As far as crypto and Bitcoin, I mean, we built some spec houses. We were willing to take Bitcoin and as currency on the spec houses, and you're seeing more of that. And I think, you know, really Bitcoin is gold 2.0. I mean, it's digital gold and, you know, you've got the political system that's printing money like it's going out of style and it's a great hedge against inflation. I mean, we've seen real estate values go crazy, you know, in Miami, right? I mean, up 56% in 18 months. And that's what we've seen in our market as well. So I'm a big believer in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And I think long-term, it's going to be a really fun ride.
How long ago did you become a believer in the crypto? Was it immediately or did it take a while for it to catch on for you?
Well, true story. So my IT guy at the time called me, or he was in my office. He's like, you need to buy this Bitcoin. I said, well, show me what it is. Well, it's digital money. I'm like, what? I want to see the coin. If I'm going to buy a coin, I want to see the coin. He goes, no, it's digital money. It's a mathematical equation. You should put in some money in. And that was when Bitcoin was at $13. True story.
Wow.
And, yeah, I did end up buying some at 300 and bought a lot more at, you know, when it was at 1500. But yeah, it's if I had a do-over, that'd be my one do-over, is I should have bought quite a bit at $13. But
wow. Hindsights are always 20/20, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's just the operation that you have going there. I mean, it looks very high level, and it's not any of my business what it costs to put something like that up, but I can tell that it was not cheap to have all that done. So I'm excited for you. It's really cool.
Well, anytime you're in Minnesota, I'll give you a tour. It's really impressive, and they're liquid cool. So the computers are actually in a liquid, so we can get the hash rate up, and one thing with crypto mining is it takes a lot of energy, and a lot of times those machines put off just a ton of heat. And you go in our facility and it's 72 degrees. So it's a different concept, but again, we're getting a higher hash rate and it's more efficient. So it's pretty
That's
neat.
really cool. Yeah, and I know very little about crypto. And we're not going to make the interview about just crypto. We're going to get in some really cool marketing things, because you are one of the best in the world in the real estate space and marketing. So we're going to dive into some of that. But I have some good friend of mine that I've made in Miami. They're actually from the San Francisco area and Palo Alto, the Silicon Valley or whatnot. They're venture capitalists, and they became friends of mine. And they bought the patent to this machine, this windmill machine. So it will end up replacing the traditional windmills that generate energy, and it kills less birds, and it's more effective, more efficient, but somehow they've tied it into the crypto space too. But reason why they come here a good bit is Miami's became kind of like the crypto capital of America type thing.
Yeah, their mayor has been super progressive and taking some of his salary in Bitcoin. And I'll be down in Miami actually the first weekend in April for the big Bitcoin conference. So that's a pretty big event.
Please meet up with me.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, how long have you been in the real estate industry?
I started in 1999, so a little while. We've seen the good, the bad, the ugly.
Indeed, you have. How many approximate homes have you sold through the years, in approximate volume?
Oh boy, that's a great question. I'd say over 10,000 homes. I guess
Jeez Louise.
I haven't thought about the volume necessarily, but this past year,
a lot is a fair.
But I mean, this past year, and 2021, we did just 896 families, helped them, and
nice
267 million. So yeah, it was a good year.
Wonderful job. Heck yeah. Where did that compare to 2020's numbers?
We were flat. So what was interesting is, pretty even. The sales were down a touch, but volume was our average sale increased. Just like everywhere in the country, we're having inventory challenges, and we're in a pretty small market. So Brainerd's 2 hours north of Minneapolis, and we go 60 miles in any direction. Our marketplace is, under 100,000 people that we service. So
you have to go wide.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What does your current real estate machine look like? And that's what the podcast about is. It's about the book, and it takes a deeper dive into the book. It's about building a machine that works harder and harder for you versus you having to work harder and harder for it. What does your current machine look like as far as in regards to what you're set up with? Do you have listing agents, I'm sure, buyer agents, staff? ISAs, no ISAs, etc.
Yeah, so we have 4 listing partners, listing agents that only work with sellers. We have 12 buyers agents. We have 5 admin, 3 full-time ISAs in-house, and then we have an acquisition specialist that we do a lot of buy it now. So he'll go out and meet with the sellers, and then a full-time photographer as well.
Love it. Hey, what's your take on? And one of the cast members on my TV show that I'm mentoring and hosting, Agents on Fire, one of them asked me the question 2 days ago. And the question is, with an ISA, because they've tried the thing with trying to outsource the ISA, which has never honestly worked for me. But there's more than one way to skin a cat. I believe in being in-house, and they're actually on staff, and they're actually on payroll as well. What's your take on inside sales agents that are outsourced versus having them in-house?
Well, I've had the same experiences that you've had where we've outsourced it and we got that Minnesota accent. And so sometimes when they're from a different country,
Uh,
it just doesn't resonate. They pick that
yes.
up immediately in our marketplace. And the other thing too is just managing the ISAs in-house has been really beneficial for us to have those daily meetings and the powwows and just face to face, belly to belly, and coaching and role playing, all those things. So for us, I've had really good success just keeping it in house where I've struggled having it outsourced. That's my experience.
Ditto. What made you decide to build a team to begin with?
Well, I just got to the point as the independent agent, I just couldn't keep up. So my best year as an independent agent, I did over 200 deals and about killed me. And I just didn't have the capacity to do any more. And I didn't have a home life. And it was
You
insane.
did 200 deals by yourself in 1
225.
year?
Yep. Yep.
That is smoking.
Yeah, it
You did not have a life, did you?
no, it was 7 days a week and it was wake to faint. I mean, I have a very supportive wife and at the time 2 young kids, and that's just what I had to do to get where I wanted to go. But we grew, then it just got so big. I'm like, I can't support it myself. So then you started bringing on the buyer's agents, right? And then, the next thing was a listing partner, and then obviously admin along the way, and
Love it. You've done an amazing job, obviously. 200 deals independently. That's maybe the most that I've heard of.
yeah,
In
it
1 year.
was an insane year, but yeah.
Wonderful. How many agents are in your current market?
I would say 600, give or take. So again, we're not in a huge market, but about 600 agents.
How many agents do you have on your team approximately?
16.
16. You've done a wonderful job, like one of the best that I've seen of top producers in North America in creating specialized, innovative programs that are differentiated for the external client, being the home seller and the home buyer. And now that I think of it, you probably have, I'm sure, internalized special programs for your internal clients as well, being your agents and staff. Would you mind telling us about some of that stuff that you do?
Yeah, so like for our sellers, we really have 4 different programs. The first one is the traditional method, which 90% of our clients use, which we're going to market, get them top dollar. Our second program, which has gained a lot of traction, is our buy it now. So we'll make a buy it now cash as is offer. The seller gets to pick the closing date. They can leave what they want, take what they want. We're going to buy it as is. So that's been very well received in our marketplace. The third thing is the guaranteed sale, which is if the home doesn't sell in 99 days, we'll buy it at the agreed upon price. Now, in this market, obviously things are selling in under a month, right? But for some people in a market that's more even, buyers to sellers, this has been really nice. And if it sells for more, so let's say, for example, it's a $300,000 house and our guarantee price, sales price is 260. Well, if it sells for 290, they get to keep the difference.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Is that something that you added to the guaranteed sale program, or is that a part of what you learned the guaranteed sale to be as?
That's kind of what we added too. So
I love that.
Very attractive. So worst case scenario is they know in 99 days it's going to sell for this, but best case is if it sells quicker and for more money, they get to keep the difference. So there's
I love that.
And then the last one we rolled out this year, I also, with the buy it now, started a construction company. So we have 9 employees in our construction company, but we'll do construction for our clients, and we'll do up to $10,000 worth of repairs. Then they can take advantage and get that profit, right? And then we get paid at closing. So we just did one in a small town, and we had about 12 grand into it. And they turned around and they had a 2.5, almost 3 ROI on that. So they made the 20 grand profit, and we sold it in 2 days, and everybody was happy. So that way they can capitalize on the fixing and flipping, so to speak. So
I love that. And that's one thing that it took me a while to to grasp in real estate? Well, it kind of didn't, because I came from other industries prior to, but it's easy to get stuck in this industry of just focusing on making income from the sale of real estate versus having multiple revenue pillars. Not only revenue pillars, but the right pillars should give your clients a higher level of services. I like to call like a white glove type service, but also there are additional pillars within the business, because we go to real estate, and who really acquires the client in real estate? 99.9 infinity of the time, it's the real estate agent. So, mortgage and title and construction company, remodeling company, alarm, home. I have a friend in Wyoming that owns her own home warranty company. She does great at that as well. Is there any suggestions that you have as far as like multiple revenue pillars?
Yeah, I mean, so we do all those things, right? So I have a property management company, and I'm a partner in that, and he's been in the licensed broker for 20 years, like myself. We've owned a different company. We teamed up, and we managed 425 properties.
Wow.
Have an insurance company, have a title company. We try and do a little bit of everything, and then just started a storage unit facility. We just built 208 units.
I've seen that. Yeah. I love that about you, brother, that you're just a flat out entrepreneur, period.
Absolutely. Right.
Where'd you get a love for that at? Like, where in life did you acquire that?
Yeah, I've always had a passion about building things, building businesses, and again, diversification. I was here in 2008 when everything crashed, and it was pretty bleak and ugly to be an agent at that time. And I thought, man, I can't put all my eggs in just the hustle of selling houses. I need to diversify and do some other things.
Hard lessons learned.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Indeed. Hey, I wanted to hop into chapter 9 of The Ultimate Real Estate Machine, the book, huge mistakes that cost huge profits. Within that chapter, there's 29 marketing mistakes that real estate agents and team leaders can't afford to make. And I wanted to dive into 3 of those, 2 or 3 of them. One that I have, marketing mistake number 4, not articulating and differentiating your preeminence preemptively, being that I could tell by even looking at your website that obviously Chad bleeds preeminence in the marketplace, being that he is the number 1 most trusted go-to agent in the market in central Minnesota. But also you preemptively market that you are that. What's your thoughts on that? And how is that a mistake if you are not doing that?
Well, I mean, it's funny how the business has changed over 20 plus years. And for us, again, it's really establishing that relationship with the client, but also understanding the importance of good reputation, good, strong reviews. We talk a lot about reviews, and it's funny.
Social proof.
Right? Oh, my light came up. What's funny is you can go to Amazon, for example, and your mom can refer this vacuum, right? And she'll say, Jason, this is the best vacuum in the world, man. This thing is mind blowing. You got to get one. And you go to Amazon and you see it's got a 1-star review. You going to buy that vacuum?
Of course not.
Right? And your mom referred it. She referred it. She believes in it so much, but it's a 1-star review. So you're going to call mom back and say, you know what?
It broke the whole deal.
Yep. And so for us, it's understanding that, people now the consumers so much more sophisticated than they were, 2 decades ago, where now they're doing their homework on you before they even reach out to you. And so having a really strong presence on Zillow and Google and understanding the power of those reviews and having stories, right? And having those referrals, and it's critical.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I have the Agents on Fire contestants working on. Of course, their reviews, and not just quality or yeah, not just quality, but the quantity of reviews. If Chad Schwendeman has 500, 800, 1,000 reviews, and I have 3, who is someone going to go with?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's magnificent. But also the reviews and testimonials, video testimonials, because I've just always believed in the power of social proof. And one of my favorite books is, and I've mentioned it on several other of these podcast episodes, my favorite marketing book on human psychology, and it's called Influence by Robert Cialdini. And it talks about the 6 principles of influence. And then in his next book, Persuasion, he adds another principle, which is called unity. And one of the 7 principles is social proof. The testimonial videos are so powerful because they're the king of content. Once you get the video content, as you know, you can repurpose the content, back into so many different mediums and written and audio, and because you captured the video and you got the video. But then building that library, because once you have that library can last for a long, long time, because quite honestly, the consumer forgets that they heard that one testimonial on radio or seen it on your social media, and you can plug that back in 6 months later, 12 months later. I know we had like one testimonial where we sold an expired home that had been listed something like 3 or 4 separate times. It was on the market for like over 1,000 days or so, like 1,200 days or so, and captured that testimonial where we sold the home in like 70 days. It was a different property, so we had to be true marketers, not just expect the MLS to sell the home. But I just love testimonials and reviews.
So we do a lot of that, testimonials, with our radio ads, and of course, third-party endorsements. What we team up with Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank and Sean Hannity and Glenn Beck, and so having those third-party endorsements have been really strong for us as well.
Love it. Well, you must have been reading my mind, because marketing mistake number 10 is not leveraging the power of endorsements, celebrity endorsements. And you just mentioned, Barbara Corcoran, Sean Hannity, a couple of others, big national celebrity endorsements. I'm sure you have a lot of local personalities that recommend you too. So that's great. You're missing out if you're not leveraging endorsements, but it doesn't have to be the super duper expensive endorsements either. One of our greatest endorsements was the principal of the local high school, where there was 4,200 students there. That through about a 3-year time period, she sent us about a little over $4 million worth of business, and sent an agent to our team that closed over $13 million worth of business.
Yeah.
So $17 million worth of business from one person that's an influencer. I would call that a great endorsement too. So what's your thoughts on, even if you can't do high level celebrity endorsements, what's your thoughts on making that mistake of not utilizing any endorsements whatsoever, even if it's the principal of a high school or the mayor of the small city?
Absolutely. I mean, doctors, attorneys, principals were same scenario, teachers. A lot of those people are influencers at a local level, right? So to have them as raving fans is only going to take your business to the next level, for sure.
They have trust.
Absolutely.
They have trust in the audience that they have possibly spent millions and millions, and possibly spent their whole working lifetime to build.
You bet. Yep. So if we can ride on those coattails, and that is a great caveat. Yeah.
Love it, brother. Marketing mistake number 23. And I'm sure you've made this mistake. I've made this mistake, and it's stuck doing what works. Hey, it's working really good, and I'm getting a return on investment, and the ROI on this particular lead source is ×3, so it's doing really good, and you're just stuck with doing what works and you're not optimizing. Can you go back to a time in your career, whether it be recently or years ago, where you've maybe been stuck doing what works in marketing?
Yeah, or you've always done it. So why change? We've always done it. And again, I think for us, it's really getting detailed on where that sale came from. And sometimes it's hard to, billboard. How do you really gauge if a billboard's effective or not, or radio for that matter? It's not like it's coming in from Zillow or Realtor.com, and you can see it. So
it's a force multiplier, omnipresence.
Absolutely. So it's all about those touches, right? So for us, it's continuing to evolve and grow, because just because we've always done the newspaper, well, now we've pulled back because that medium's kind of starting to die a little bit. So it's maybe doing more online and just trying to track it. For us, it's giving it the time to see if it works. A lot of times, years past, I was quick to stop, right? Give it 90 days. And now I've learned I got to give it 12 months to see if it gains traction. So that comes with school of hard knocks, right? I mean, you make some bad decisions and you stop something too quickly, or like you said, it's working. So we're not going to fine tune it at all. We're just going to leave it hands off. This has worked.
I know you have wasted, as I have wasted, not intentionally, but unintentionally, tons of marketing dollars on ad campaigns or marketing that you thought was going to work and didn't work. Even the best marketers in the world, they'll tell you that they fail over 50% of the time. But when you hit that one campaign that just freaking works, it's just beautiful. It's like it's like being on a listing appointment and them telling you initially, I'm not doing business today. There's no way in the world that I'm signing up with you, Chad. I'm interviewing 50 other agents, and you walk out there with a listing agreement when it's over. It's that type feeling when, or better when you get that winning campaign. Can you tell me about maybe a story of one of the worst campaigns that maybe you tried over the years?
Oh, I mean,
this will be fun.
We've done a lot of different things, and we did a pretty expensive mailing piece that was a big newspaper newsletter, and man, we gave that 14 months, and I think I got one call off of it, and it was thousands of dollars a month, and it just kept right. It's got to pay. And it just, for us, it just didn't work. And for other people, other markets, it certainly could be a home run, but for us, it didn't work.
It's kind of like being a marketing. When you love marketing, it can kind of be like a degenerate gambler sometimes.
Absolutely.
Where you like, hey, it can work, and you start chasing the money. And I've ran down that path one time. It actually cost us about $120,000 in 4 months.
Yeah.
But it could have if I'd have made another mistake. Luckily, I was smart enough to make these negotiate these contracts with the advertiser, the advertising source, the medium source, to where there was an out within 30 days, because they tried to have me in for a year, and if they'd had me for a year, it'd have been about $350,000 lost.
Well, and that's what I mean. So a lot of us spend a lot of money in marketing. So the first people they call are realtors or team leaders, right? Because they know we're entrepreneurs, we're pretty decisive in our decision making. We're not gonna, let's give it a shot. And so I've had that happen too, where they'll bring me the new shiny object. I'm like, yeah, let's try it. And then you end up spending $100,000 and cost you.
Unfortunately, I called them. They didn't call me on this case. Really? Yeah, I just love marketing. It's fun to me. What would you, and I have this quick question. Do you feel that it's that lead generation or lead conversion is a bigger problem for real estate agents today? Which one do you think is the harder code to crack?
For us, it's all about conversion, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't need another 20 leads. For us, it's really about the conversion, and that continues to be a challenge. And like we've all seen the stats of, the contact, the 7th to 12th contact is when you make the sale, and that's where the ISAs come in, just nurturing those leads. And nothing's more disappointing than having a lead that you nurtured for 16 months and then they list with somebody else or buy a house from another agency, and that makes my heart hurt. So for us, it's really
especially when it's a past client or a current client.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that one of the things that your ISA does too, is go back to your database and put that client experience hat on?
Oh yeah, yep. So with COVID, we did stop things, but now we're trying to do a quarterly event. So this past October, we did Oktoberfest, free beer, brats, had a band,
Love it.
Had all of our clients, had 700.
I didn't get the invite for some reason.
Well, you come on.
I'm not one of your clients, I guess.
Now we've got something coming up at the end of February where we're doing a mentalist, magician. And so we're inviting all of our clients to be at the middle school auditorium, and we'll have hopefully 600-700 people there, and just a free night to enjoy, laugh, see some magic, and doing things like that.
That's just cool. That's just simply giving back to the community.
Absolutely.
I love it. What would you recommend to others that may be right now where you used to be when you first started your real estate team? What's a bit of advice you would give them? Well,
an agent told me 20 years ago, he said, if you don't have an assistant, you are the assistant. And if you can hire somebody for $15, $20 an hour to help you in your business, your time's worth more than that. The other thing that tends to happen is once you make that commitment and you've got another family depending on you, your commitment and your work ethic goes up, because hey, I got to make sure I'm paying the bills for her or him, the assistant, and so I need to perform. And so I would say that's number one. And then you start to grow your team, and so next would probably be a buyer's agent. And a lot of times when we're building our team, it's groups of 5, so it's 1 ISA, 1 listing partner, 3 buyer's agents. And that's how we try and grow the team organically, is groups of 5. And so initially you'll probably have
There's a book about that, I believe, that talks about teams of 5. I can't remember the name of it.
Interesting. Yeah. So that's what we try and do. And really it's, you get a couple of buyer's agents, and then next would probably be a listing partner, an ISA, and that's how you grow it.
And I imagine now that you are probably not working in your business and probably not own your business, the amount of hours that you worked when you sold 200 homes per year.
No.
As an independent agent.
Not at all. So now it's more.
Love it, brother.
Masterminding, working with my office manager, going to different events and conferences and just trying to grow that way. And again, just trying to build and give back to the agents to make sure that they're hitting their dreams and goals. Yeah.
Love it. And I've been to Tony Robbins' Business Mastery, and it says it in the book that, what are the top 3 highest dollar producing activities that a real estate agent can be doing? And this came from Darren Hardy when he was young and he sold real estate. He said that listing appointments, number 1, negotiating contracts, number 2, prospecting, number 3. Then, so that's working in the business of real estate, then going to working on the business in real estate. Number 1, strategy. Number 2, marketing. Number 3, innovating. The top 3 highest dollar producing activities that you can be doing as an entrepreneur, which is obviously what you are as a team leader. So it sounds like you're in all those 3 buckets right now.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Yeah.
And you're going not just in on the business, working in the business and on the business, you're also working above the business, being that you're, sounds like you have a couple of JVs, joint ventures and partnerships, and you have multiple different types of company. That the hub is still the real estate company. That's working above the business, and that's freaking brilliant. Wonderful job.
Yeah,
What does the future look like for the Chad Schwendeman Real Estate Group?
we're going to continue to grow and expand and bring on more agents. I mean, like you said, our agents average over 50 deals a year, and
Love
that's
it.
a lot. And so we want to bring on more agents, and for us, it's a lot about the disc and hiring the right people. For us, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So I'm very selective on who we bring on, and we want to make sure that they fit the culture and more importantly that they're going to be successful. So we do a lot of disc and interviewing, and we're obviously trying to build and grow the team and continue to increase our market share.
What's the perfect disc look like to you? The perfect.
Well,
disc.
I would say, it's funny because I have some really good agents that are, sell over 100 deals a year, and they all have different discs. I mean, one could be a high CD and the other one is a higher S, right? And so for us, it's that economic drive is probably first and foremost. Their D has to be at least above a 30, even higher than that. That's a bare bones minimum for us.
Buyer and seller side, buyer and listing side, or
Well, we're on the listing side, their D has to be, we like, 90 plus D, right? So on the buy side, it'd be under, higher than 30. Economic drive above 70 for us is important. And again, just how do they interact during the interview process? How are they going to fit on the team? Because we all know one bad apple can spoil the whole batch. And for us, it's really having that good
matching your core values.
Absolutely critical.
Love it. Well, hey, I sure do appreciate your time. This is going to be a magnificent episode. I can't wait for the listeners to hear it. For agents listening that may have referrals for folks looking to move to your area in central Minnesota, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, they can chadschwendeman.com or call me direct, 218-831-HOME. 218-831-4663 or chadschwendeman.com, and can check out our different programs on that site as well, so you can see what we're offering and can steal. Like I said, it's R&D. It's not research, it's rip off and duplicate, so they can look at I can't
not research and development, it's rip off and duplicate. Yep. There you go.
So they can look
modeling.
At
modeling is maybe a better
Absolutely.
Hey, brother, I really appreciate you, and I know you'll have a wonderful 2022.
That's it for this episode of The Ultimate Real Estate Machine. May your real estate machine be extremely rewarding, fulfilling, and life-changing for you and all the people that you impact. Claim those skyrocketing results that you demand from your real estate business. Subscribe to the show for more content like this at ultimaterealestatemachine.thepodcast.com. And don't forget to leave a positive rating. Thank you for joining us. See you on the next episode.